Mr. President, I rise today to call attention to the important efforts made each day by our public servants. We often forget our public servants, or federal employees, go to work every day with the sole mission to make this country a better and safer place to live. Day after day, they go about their work receiving little recognition for the great work they do. And many times, unfortunately, they're actually berated rather than acclaimed for what they do during difficult times. Now, since 2010, I've come to the Senate floor on a regular basis to honor exemplary federal employees, a tradition that was begun by my friend, the former senator from Delaware, Senator Ted Kaufman. Today, I want to take this opportunity to recognize another extraordinary public servant who has served in the United States Department of Treasury for 41 years. Now, 41 years, that's not a typo. Mr. Richard L. Gregg has dedicated more than 4 decades to federal service. He most recently served as the Fiscal Assistant Secretary at the U.S. Department of Treasury. Mr. Gregg began his federal civilian service in 1970 at Treasury's Financial Management Service. During his tenure at Treasury, he served as the Commissioner of Treasury's Financial Management Service and as the Commissioner of the Bureau of Public Debt. Mr. Gregg retired for the first time in June 2006 and was asked to return to Treasury in 2009 to serve as Fiscal Assistant Secretary. Mr. Gregg retired again this month, and in honor of his second retirement, I wanted to highlight a couple of his noteworthy accomplishments. During his long tenure at Treasury, Mr. Gregg was well known for his innovative thinking, ability to make hard decisions, and the desire to make government more efficient, more open, and very importantly, less costly. Mr. Gregg led the Treasury into the 21st century by modernizing federal payment operations. He moved Treasury from paper-based benefit payments toward the more sensible, reliable electronic payment systems. And boy, we should have done that a lot earlier. This is really a big deal since Treasury makes more than 1 billion payments per year. Think about that, more than 1 billion separate payments per year. Included in that are all Social Security benefit payments, as well as others. His work will help save taxpayers $1 billion over the next decade. That's a pretty great value. Mr. Gregg also helped achieve one of the far more rare feats in the federal government, the actual consolidation of federal programs. Mr. Gregg recognized that operations could be improved if Treasury consolidated 2 complementary Treasury agencies into one. By merging Treasury's Financial Management Service, which makes government payments, with Treasury's Bureau of Public Debt, which borrows the money to fund government, taxpayers will save tens of millions over the next decade. Now, this isn't going to clear up our $17 trillion in debt that goes up $3 billion a night, but these are the kind of common sense steps in the right direction that we need to see more of. I'm also proud that Mr. Gregg is not only an inspiring public servant, but he's also a Virginian and resides in Springfield, Virginia. I want to thank Mr. Richard L. Gregg for his leadership at the Department of Treasury and for being a tireless advocate for the American people. His work in support of a more efficient, responsive, and accountable government will continue to make government work better for all Americans for many years to come. With that, Mr. President, I yield the floor and note the absence of a quorum.